Notts County top player ratings, a fantastic 1-0 victory at home to Wrexham, a fellow playoff and possibly title contending side. So to get the victory over them, absolutely incredible. It was on BT Sport, so if you didn't get to watch the game, just know that the first 20 minutes, very shaky. Notts weathered the storm, Slocum with a few really good saves, and then from then on, Notts grew strength after strength after strength and really finished the game the much stronger side. We saw a return for Kyle Roberts, a debut for Griffiths, and also Knight coming off the bench to make his debut. So, in goal, Sam Slocum. He's going to get an 8. Very good, commanding, saved us early on quite a few times. Obviously got the clean sheet, and also there's just some very important saves at some very important times. And every time the ball came in the box, he was out straight away. It was his ball. He wanted to get it. So fantastic performance from Sam Slocum, something that we've not seen so much of in the past couple of weeks. We played sort of a 3 at the back. So I'm going to go with that sort of 5 or 3. We played more with the 3. I'm going to go with the 3 players that played centre back. We'll start with Rawlinson. Got an assist for Ellis's goal. Lovely header from a corner. Knocks it down to Ellis, who just taps it in. He was good, commanding, putting his body on the line, blocking as much as he could. Just a solid and very typical, when he's on his game, Conor Rawlinson performance. So I'm going to give him a 7.5. I thought he was very good. Next player I'm going to give a rating for is Adam Chickson, who played the left side of centre-back, if I'm sort of thinking about that right. It was quite confusing to have him playing there. A lot of pressure on him early on, and you could see there was a chance where the ball comes in for a cross and 3 players put pressure on him from a free kick, and he ends up nearly knocking it in his own net. Now, 3 players on him, they'd obviously done their homework on him, and they knew exactly what had gone on earlier in the season, that he wasn't as fantastic as perhaps he could have been. But then he grew strength on strength. I thought it was very good. To say he's come from no confidence, very, very good. And Birchnell, credit to him for playing him in that position, because a lot of people might have seen that team sheet and thought, I'm not feeling that very much. So he's going to get a 7 from me. The only reason he doesn't get the 7.5 is because Rawlinson actually got the assist. So there would have been a lot higher ratings if the first 20 minutes hadn't have been so heart in mouth. But nevertheless, a great score. Last centre-back, Ellis, gets the goal, gets an 8.5 for me. It's the winning goal in the game, so obviously he's going to get the highest rating. In the right place at the right time. It's his second goal for the club. If I remember rightly, it's his second winning goal. Makes a massive block towards the end of the game. Huge, that could easily have gone in from a shot from outside the area. He's a leader, he wants to win, he wants to get everyone around him pumped up. He fights, he's shouting at the referee, which I don't like to see against Notts, but you know what? Notts never do it. So for once, I don't mind Notts players doing it to the referee. Fantastic performance from Ellis. Real good signing. And when Notts are playing well, he especially plays really well. So 8.5 for me. Now we'll go on to sort of the 2 players that were wide, but also dropping back. So on the left-hand side, you had Barnett. Now, I thought he was good. He took a wild shot early on, which probably shouldn't have done, but he's inexperienced. But actually, he was pretty good today. I think he took the corner that we scored from, good one into the box, clean sheet. It's a 7 from me for him. Go to the other side, Enzio, sort of playing that wing-back role again, but more attacking-wise this time, whereas under Ardley we saw him a bit more defensive. Wasn't fantastic, but again, he's part of a defensive unit that's got a clean sheet. He's not as effective there as he would be further forward, which is obvious to say, but he's come in, he's done his job, he's put his work rate in, so he's also going to get a 7. So very good scores for the goalkeeper and defence. Going on to the midfield 3, we'll start with Jim O'Brien. First name on the team sheet for me. If you just watch the discussion, I've said that. First name on the team sheet. Gives it his all. Absolutely everything. He's doing runs to split the lines. I think he is absolutely desperate to get Notts promoted this season. And he's been phenomenal again. He's going to get an 8 from me. He was bought off. Didn't like the substitution at the time. Thought maybe the new lad Griffiths could come off. But all in all, it's worked out well. Very good. Keep him a little bit fresh for Monday, because he's got to be on that team sheet. He's got to be. He's stepped in the past few games, and he's really wowed a lot of Notts fans, I think. So dedication and passion, fighting for the badge, everything you could want from a midfielder. Go to Jake Reeves next. Okay, not at his usual best, but also not poor. Was outshone by Jim O'Brien. but Jake Reeves always puts in a decent performance. I'm going to 6.5 for Reeves. Nothing standout, nothing poor. And it's definite improvement on Tuesday's game against Aldershot, where he literally dribbled into our own box and we almost scored. Other midfielder, I'm going with Regan Griffiths. Putting on his debut, I know we put him in our lineup prediction, but we didn't actually think he would start. First half, probably a 7.5 out of 10. Second half was a little bit less. I think they've worked him out a little bit. It's hard coming into a side you've not gelled with literally 2 days before a game, so he's going to get a 6.5 as well. I think he could be an important player in the side and definitely one that's going to be rotated in and out of the squad in the absence of Michael Doyle. Go to strikers. We'll go with Carl Wootton next. Red card. The ref from minute one wanted Carl Wootton sent off. I have no problem saying that. I don't know. We don't know what his problem was. The first yellow card, he actually didn't touch the player. And the second one, there's a delay to send him off. If you're into conspiracy theories, then I can quite easily see how you'd link referees wanting Wootton sent off into a conspiracy theory, because they book him game in, game out, give him nothing. He's running with a ripped shirt. His shirt is literally ripped at the seams because it's been pulled. Really hard done by, but he's got a red card. You could say at the end of the day, he knew he was on a yellow. Don't go in for those challenges. He's put himself in that position. He's put his team in that position. But I'm going to give him a 6 because I do think actually he didn't deserve the red and he put in an okay performance. So I'll go with a 6. Jimmy Knowles, also a 6. I don't think he ran at players as much as he could, as he usually did. Didn't get to see much of his pace. But it's a typical performance where he's just a nuisance, so 6 for him. And then taking us onto the sub, so we've got Knight and we've got Roberts. Now, Knight came on, instantly turned, instantly hit the ball on the turn. Very positive, looked quite good, looked to have a link up with Wootton pretty early on actually. So for me, he gets a 7 just for his being proactive. He came on, I wouldn't say he changed the game unlike the player I'm just about to talk about, but he was quite good. He was decent. And then that brings us on to Cal Roberts back, and let's hope that he is back for the foreseeable now. There's no more injuries coming our way. I'm going to have to give him an 8. He literally changed the game. They were petrified of him when he came on. Won a free kick, almost scored, literally slotted back in like his usual self. I wouldn't start him against Woking. I think that's too early. But just to have him back is fantastic. A great feeling. So that's why he gets that rating from me. Overall, really, really good performance. Positive. Felt like there was no chance of getting a win after what happened on Tuesday night. But onwards and upwards. And let's see if a few teams will drop points above us later on today.